This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Okay, guys, okay. I haven't slept for hours. I've pored over every unblurred frame of We Call It Imagineering, the brand new YouTube series Disney just released. And while everyone's been busy focusing on the animatronic friends of Tiana and all the Bayou adventures, this 14-minute video is packed full of Imagineering secrets that you probably didn't see, including a never-before-seen look at the finale Tiana animatronic and a potential spoiler that reveals huge news about this ride. So pay attention to all the little secrets and see if you can solve the mystery before I do at the end of the video. Imagineering! I actually have an Imagineering hat here, so welcome to the offices of Imagineering. Imagineering offices, bizarrely, are really no different than any other workplace that you might have visited, including benign things like writing your name of your department on the end of folding tables to make sure no one else steals them. I cannot stop laughing at the idea of an institution like Imagineering being plagued with the problem of everyone stealing each other's folding table. And yeah, pay no attention to that giant skinned alligator animatronic there. I'm focused in on the details of the edge of the folding tables. You really gotta read between the lines when you're watching videos like this if you wanna get all the facts. And Imagineers, they like to have fun with things like googly eyes above their monitors or a My Little Pony mascot hanging at their workstation, which is so obviously, of course, Trixie because her cutie mark, Stars and Wands, is definitely the whole Imagineering vibe, right? But enough about silly Imagineering workplace relevancy. Let's get into the juicy secrets. Etsy for Imagineers? This is easily one of the coolest and most relatable things about this entire Imagineering video. During a conversation with an Imagineer customer, they pivot to a lookbook for the animatronic character of Eudora, Tiana's mom. And see that? Looks like even Imagineering goes to Etsy when they need something unique, handmade, or one of a kind. Just like us. But I saw some people really shocked by this, and I totally understand why. The idealistic version of Imagineering sort of implies this magic building where, like, you know, anything can be created inside of it. But the reality of it is that a group of artists are exercising all of their mastery of their skill sets to make this magic happen. So yes, Imagineers do use Etsy. A good, resourceful customer, or really any artist for that matter, uses every tool in their toolbox to turn out great art, and that includes Etsy, which has essentially become the world's craft fair, where you can find literally anything there. Everything and anything, including what appears to be a delicate lace applique for the dress of Eudora. I even found the Etsy listing of this specific item and the whole store, and it's filled with gorgeous flapper-style lace and fringe, period appropriate for Tiana and the ride. Who knows how many Etsy sellers throughout the years have contributed to animatronic costumes or other costume characters in the parks. This is such a fun little thing to learn, isn't it? Now, the second fun Imagineering secret I picked up on is robot safety. Now, I guess I always knew this, I just never really acknowledged it internally until I saw this little detail in this Imagineering video. The new electric motor-powered animatronics are wicked strong. All the animatronics were pretty powerful, sure, and we've seen countless videos of people climbing off on rides or interacting with animatronics as they're still waving around and moving. Dangerous, but manageable. You do that with this new Lewis animatronic on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and it might hit you so hard you fly backwards and land into the water. Just look at this thing move. It has such fluid, gorgeous movement, and what that is precision power. If you pay attention in the video, you'll see that every one of these new Bayou animatronics has a control tower. And if you look on the top of that control tower, you'll see a little tiny light. When the tower is on, this light is on, and that tells everyone in the area when it's safe to approach the animatronic. And I love this. I love like the little power line energized signs they have hanging all over these things to let you know that there's some real danger. If the red light is on, stay outside of the safety barriers. But if the light is green, the coast is clean. It's kind of like Ghostbusters with, you know, the whole containment unit thing. As Imagineers work in this finishing department, it's a constant back and forth between the mechanical and the decorative. A costumer might need to adjust the sleeve or collar on Tiana. Another might need to add shading to the tail of the alligator, but they cannot do this while the robot is on, as the mechanical side works to program and test it. It could cause serious injury. Imagine trying to, like, fix Tiana's collar and she swings around and knocks you in the face. I could tell you what kind of injury it might potentially cause, but Disney made sure to blur every single danger sign in this video. So who knows what kind of injury you might sustain from it, but it can't be good. Now, the third big thing I noticed in this video was just all the weird heads. The behind the scenes vibes were most excellent in all those vintage Walt hosted Disneyland TV shows where he revealed the animatronic workings of things like Tiki Room, Small World, and Pirates of the Caribbean. And this video is a true return to form, especially tables of heads. There's a whole shelf of animatronic heads seen just 20 seconds in the video in the first of many quick montage sequences. It's got Prince Eric from the Little Mermaid ride, and bizarrely, there's Muppets representation with the animatronic head of Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets Mobile Lab, which I am just super tickled by. And they're sitting next to a pirate from the Shanghai Disneyland ride, which is heavily featured in this video with lots of clips of Davy Jones's head all over the place. And we got all kinds of other heads, like a Haunted Mansion head, a Small World head. We even got a giant potato head mechanical ear from the gimmick of Toy Story Mania from Disney's California Adventure. But perhaps my favorite head from the entire video is none other than Cher from Superstar Limo. If you needed any evidence whatsoever of the LGBTQ presence in the Imagineering department, this is all the information you need. Some proud gay man went out there and saved the head of the Cher animatronic, and of course they did. She's an icon. She's a legend. And you may be asking yourself, well, where's Cher's wig? What do you mean, where's Cher's wig? Someone's wearing it. That's where it is. You think they let that wig go to waste? And it's cool to see this very specific animatronic head because it highlights a fun little storytelling feature that they do where they paint in the hairline to keep everything looking sharp and strong and all that imagery looking great so that an uncanny valley of animatronics continues to live on. At 39 seconds into the video, we see a door open into a room with two random heads on a shelf, and it's a pretty quick clip, but this is the same room we see later in the video with lots of shelves and boxes with labels like Rapunzel. And I don't know, this could possibly be a first look at Tokyo's animatronic heads for Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. I don't know, maybe it is. What do you guys see? When you look at these heads, which characters do you see? Number 4, the animatronic finishing. Now, I talk about costumes a lot on this channel, but I very rarely ever talk about animatronic costumes, and boy, was this video a bit of a wake-up call because, wow. Take a look at the spandex flesh-colored loops sewn into the sleeve of the animatronic costume that hook into the hands of the figure to keep the sleeves down and taut. Something that we all take for granted as normal humans, being able to pull our sleeves down, but this robot is gonna repeat the same motions thousands of times for years upon years, and so consideration has to be made to make sure that the sleeves always stay down. Check out this clip of this Lewis skin, technically an animatronic costume, being airbrush. The finished figure, exposed parts and all, in the finishing department, actively being painted in the studio like it's some t-shirt mall stand. And they're adding all of this airbrush detailed into the skin and adding all kinds of different layering in that you can see later in the video paid off with the finished Lewis animatronic. It's kind of wild comparing them side by side. And if you notice the Lewis animatronic that's on the stump, you can see up the tail, there's all these tiny little pin marks, which are clearly marking out where the scales for the tail will go, giving the edge of the tail its defining feature. I love all of these tiny little finishing details and considerations that have to go into these long-term art installations. The work of these Imagineers right now has to persist for what, 20, 30, 40, 50 years? Who knows how long this ride will operate as Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and so they have to put in and plan for the long term. All right, here's number 5. Here's number 5 on my list, which is essentially huge spoilers. This is the big spoiler thing. I can't believe it, but essentially Imagineering sort of leaked the entire layout of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. If you notice in all of the visuals we've shown so far, there have been lots of labels on these animatronics. There's a Lewis 5, there's a Tiana 7, and these numbers align with something else that's shown to us in the video. There's a whiteboard sitting in the background as Imagineers chat, and a lot of the numbers correspond with those animatronic signs that are on the whiteboard. And if you put 2 and 2 together, what you quickly realize is that this is the entire list of the new show scene animatronics that are being built and delivered to Disneyland's mountain that the team is currently working on, as the Florida mountain is already entirely finished and being actively tested. Going through this list one by one, you can essentially put together the entire layout of the ride with some other things like concept art. Scene 3 is the first animatronic we will see in the ride of Tiana, potentially on the lift hill in that initial little barn sequence. You know how there's like a frog rocking there right now. Scene 5 is super busy. We've seen Tiana 5 and Lewis 5 in the video, and they perfectly align with this piece of concept art here. Tiana hanging out with the river band. You can see the animatronic has 1 foot on a rock, just like the concept art, and Lewis has his trumpet, just like we've seen in the video. There's also silhouetted cutouts all over this video hidden in the background that are pretty hard to spot, but there's one really clear shot that you can see them. These look like the band critters, like the Rabbit Gritty cutout right there. You can see it clear as day. And these critter cutouts were obviously used in programming the eye lines and gestures of the animatronic show scenes in this warehouse before they even get on the ride. And also, if you peep in the corner of the concept art, you'll see a little bit of frog action going on there. And shortly after this Imagineering video was released, they started putting some teasers on social media with the frogs. So I'm kind of cheating a little bit. I'm kind of talking about some other media, but hey, I gotta tell the whole story for you here, baby. You want all these facts? I gotta give them to you. The Scene 6 animatronics were not shown in the video, but we do know that it's another scene with Lewis and Tiana, perhaps from this concept art scene that we saw with her in a boat and a half-submerged Lewis in the water. Notice in the background of this, by the way, the concept art has a bunch of silhouetted critters playing their band instruments, similar to the silhouettes I showed you just in that last scene. Scene 7's animatronic is perhaps one of my favorites. It's Tiana sitting there on the tree stump with a stuck Lewis. I love it. It's very reminiscent of the Brer Bear big old butt hanging out in that one scene. And I love this because it's a callback to the movie. That one song, Lewis gets stuck in a tree stump, and TPM, he kind of figured that out, so appreciate you, TPM. Now on the list for Scene 9, it has one of the names of the Imagineers, Avi, but I've discerned that that's actually just a code for Mama Odie because the name appears twice, and the second time is in a scene where I know Mama Odie is in. It's the big scene before the big drop. It's in what used to be the laughing place, where we have a little bit of concept art of Mama Odie having a really great time up on that boat piece. And so this is going to be an animatronic with a slightly different costume than the one we already saw in the video. I'm very hyped for this. It's gonna be glowing bottles and disco lights, and this is where the techno mist is gonna come into play. I'm hyped. Everyone better be hyped for this techno mist. Scene 11 is where things get really crazy. It's the old riverboat scene that has now been translated into the Tiana's palace scene, where we go to her fancy restaurant, and everyone is there. Naveen's younger brother Ralphie is on the drums, playing along with a beaver helping him with the bass. Naveen isn't shown in this video, but we do know he's there thanks to some leaked concept art that came out from the finale of the ride, so we can anticipate him to be standing there, 1 foot up on the stairs, strumming the guitar. We also have Eudora and Charlotte there, and they're both looking absolutely stunning. Look at these two, thanks to a great social media post by Disney Parks a couple days after. I love it. I love this little preview. We did not get to see these two characters in the main video, so thank you, social media team, for putting those out. And of course, let's not forget Tiana, who's in the finale next to Lewis, and as we saw in that leaked concept art, she's shown wearing a yellow dress, but that's not the dress she's gonna be wearing. As we know, we've seen her in that iconic green outfit, and man, she looks stunning. I cannot wait to see a full look at this glamour, animatronic, glitzy, glittery, rhinestoned Tiana dress. It's going to be perfect. The final scene, scene 12, is shown off pretty heavily in the video. It's Mama Odie and her snake Juju, and this is going to be like kind of like that last moment of the ride. We see it pretty popular now, where there's kind of like an animatronic at the end saying goodbye, thanks for hanging out, yada yada yada. It's fun. I can't wait. Mama Odie looks gorgeous. This animatronic is stunning, and the Juju snake looks really fun, but all the mechanics of it are encased in a fish tank. So that says to me that this plate of beignets is definitely going to be in a potential splash zone or water area. So I like the idea of Juju kind of like popping up out of the water looking for some beignets to snack on. Look, you don't need to study the background of my video set to figure out how to make a good website. Instead, all you need is today's video sponsor, Squarespace, who has a powerful set of new AI tools that makes website building easier than ever, you guys. Check out this new Blueprint AI tool where you can pick and choose details for your new website tailored to your exact SEO needs, helping you show up in search results more often. Just tell it what you want your site to be about, and it will lay a foundation for you to go in and edit, making it super duper easy. But it gets even better thanks to their next generation website design system, Fluid Engine. It's truly mind-blowing because it's like a drag and drop website design system that you can use on web or mobile. I can customize like every detail. And then when you're all set, engage visitors to your site with an unrivaled suite of visual design effects built in and ready to use. Look at all these design options. Plus, you can connect your social accounts in just a few easy clicks to extend your brand's footprint. Go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/DisneyDan to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Well, we did it. We went through all the secrets of Imagineering, and oh boy, lots of secrets in there. Yeah, you guys see any of those hidden Mickeys? There are a few in there, or just any 3 circles that were just close to each other that you could say was a Mickey, I guess. I like how this video is potentially longer than the 14-minute video that it's actually about. But, you know, these things are important. It's important for you to know the Imagineering secrets because, you know, that's all Daddy Tomorrow wants from you is for you to all to become Imagineers and help him make more money. He literally says it in the video. So, you know, hey, let me know in the comments and across all the whole of social medias, what other things you might have caught from this video, fun stuff to point out. And I know the Wax Man is there. I know the Wax Man is there right behind Daddy Josh, right in the beginning of the video. And I don't know what that means. I don't know if we're getting Wax Man at Disneyland Haunted Mansion. I don't know. I don't know what it means, guys. I saw the Wax Man. You don't have to tell me about the Wax Man. I saw the Wax Man. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm gonna go sleep now because I've just been watching this video over and over again. Thanks for watching, guys. You rock. I'm just gonna lay down right here. Just gonna lay down real quick.